Well, I kind of jumped at the chance, actually, to do the overnight. I think that it was an answer to a question I've had for most of my life about who are my African ancestors.
I wanted to take part of an important subject that's in our American society that society keeps ignoring, pretend that it doesn't exist, or they think we're over it and we're not. And I wanted to continue bringing that message to the forefront so that we can build a society that is really honoring everyone's life.
What propelled me specifically to do it is, it was for the first time really in my life an opportunity to have a tangible experience of my ancestry.
There's still this idea that this is New York and we were the North, like way North, right? Like slavery wasn't really a thing here, right? Like, so for somebody who hasn't had that experience and maybe doesn't even believe that, has somehow in their mind managed to like take it out of the storyline of like where we live, I'd want them to be able just to see and touch and know, hear the stories, and feel that weight.
Something I've heard over and over again is like, we really need to start talking about the truth of what happened in this country because there is no other way to move forward. And so for me personally, like in my history, like I need to know my past so I can move forward, but I also think us as a country as a whole can't start to heal without that piece.
I would use the term slave because the workshop was slave dwelling, but I kept hearing, we are not slaves. And I heard that over and over, and at first I thought, is that just me and my kind of Jamaican attitude, passed down 2 generations? But it came back so often, I thought, right, of course you're not slaves. You were enslaved people.
It was hard because I do have a great-grandmother who was born into slavery, and I remember hearing her stories about it. So I felt like I was there honoring her.
Being there, I can at least honor those who actually slept there, those who lived there, those who were enslaved there, and I can be there, I can bear witness just incrementally just to that place. And I know the place is different now, and the candles aren't real and the floor is not the same, but I know that at some place in time, in that space, those people, my people, were enslaved there.
My own experience with history is that it is something that people throw at us from a book that some man behind a curtain wrote, and then we digest it and we spit it back out, and that is how we do history in America.
I think the society and people individually can stop working so hard to separate themselves, like the us and them and you and I think we'll begin to come together and begin to understand each other in a different way. I want people to understand that we are all one.
Like nothing bad is going to happen to us if the U.S. is like, hey, we perpetuated slavery in this way that wasn't cool. Like the world's not going to implode. And so I think this project is like really amazing and interesting and important and vital.
Well, I'm just really excited about this whole project because I think it's really time, it's overdue that this part of American history be opened up. It's been bottled up, boxed up, cordoned off, and through language it's been silenced. And it's time to really break that silence.
I want to reiterate how important it is to have experiences like this in regions like the Hudson Valley. So coming together across the race divide and doing something like this together really starts to drive home that there is no such thing as Black history in America. It's just American history.